G'day guys, what's going on? This is Matt here again for another episode of Having a Yak. Today we are talking about big steps. Big steps in a lot of things, big steps in multiple different things that you could actually do as a big step kind of thing. So it can be multiple different big steps that you can actually do in your life that can actually, can be a big thing in life. So like I said, big steps. That is today's topic. Big steps. Big steps can be, like I said, multiple different things. See, there is so many different things that you could consider as a big step. Getting that work that you want to do. Get it done. That can be classed as a big step. Going for a driver's license. Go for a truck license, go for any license. That can be a big step. To be able to control something that's so big, that is also a big step. Getting into shape, getting into fitness and health can also be a big step. Now, my big steps is getting my mind and my mental health under control. Yep. That is a massive step for me. Huge step. Probably one of the biggest I've ever done in my life. And also too, I'm actually live on TikTok. How you going, everyone? I just got my first comment. Hi, how are you? I'm doing good. That is a big wig. I'm not wearing a wig, mate. Sorry. I'm Summer. Hi. How you going, Summer? So today we're talking about big steps. Like I said, we're talking about big steps. People on TikTok. Now, if you want to go on TikTok, look up my name. I am the Aussie Bushman, which was formerly known as the Big Grizzly Bear Aussie. Anyway, that's just the way it was. I changed it. I wanted to change it so it represents more of me, not something that, represents everything else. It represents me, which is the Aussie Bushman, which I am. Can I say hey at Asja? Something? No, I'm not sure. So anyway. So getting onto the big step. That's a pretty big thing. And also, that can also be a very big step when it comes to everything that you want to do. There are so many things out there that can be classed as a big step. Like I said, there are so many different things. Now, like I said there before, my big step is actually doing something about mental health, doing something about fitness, doing something about getting into shape. That is a massive big step for me. Huge. Absolutely huge. Now, the thing is, if someone wants to come in and talk about their big step, they can. I'm not sure if it's actually going to work. Hopefully it will. I've got my phone in Bluetooth with the Rodecaster. Hopefully I can get guests on here on me live and they can say what their big step was, what their ever big step was. Hopefully it works. I hope it does. But if it doesn't, at least you get to see the live anyway. Now, the whole thing is about big steps. Now, I'm going to be accepting guests in a minute, so don't put any things yet. Now, my big step was mental health and fitness. Now, I've signed up to the gym and I've signed up to see a psychiatrist to actually talk about my mental health. It was bad. It was really bad. I was very low, very dark, in a very dark place. I was very close to snapping, but I didn't. Now the whole thing is that I think one of my mates, Mr. Tank just joined. How you doing, Tank? Now when it comes to big steps, they can be multiple different things of actually being steps. Now, it can't be just big steps. It can be small steps. It can be little baby steps. A small step could be, okay, I'm going to stop eating as much as I did. That could be a small step. Not a big one, but it can be a small one. Another step could be, I'm going to stop drinking soft drink as much as I have and start drinking water. Now, you also got to remember too, one detail about me. I'm type 2 diabetic. I was just diagnosed probably last year. Yeah, about a few months ago. So nearly a year. I've already lost nearly 30 kilos already. Because I stopped eating so much. I had to change my diet. I stopped drinking. I didn't drink normal soft drink anymore. I drank just diet Coke and that type of stuff because you had to. And I've changed up a few of my dieting habits. I'm nowhere near eating as much as I used to. Nowhere near. Also, too, I've signed up to the gym. I've signed up to get my health in order. So why not? Why not get into shape and get fit and get healthy? I used to weigh nearly 200 kilos, if not more. 200 kilos. That's big, mate. That is huge. 200 kilos. Over 200 kilos, really. I probably would have weighed at least 210 kilos. At least. And the whole thing is that me, actually, in some ways, being diagnosed with type 2 was actually a fucking blessing. Because it made me wake up. It made me think, fuck, okay, I better get this shit fucking sorted and get sorted now. Now, you got to remember too, is that I was low and I did not want to be here, but I am now. Now, the thing is too, guys, is that I've already discussed this in the mental health episode last time, but when you take a big step, which is today's topic, like I said, it took me the biggest step, and also too the biggest lot of courage to actually say no more. It is a massive step in that regard. It really fucking is. And the thing is that some people don't tend to realize is that taking big steps of all things can be classed as big steps. Giving up smoking, giving up drugs, giving up alcohol, giving up a lot of shit. There is actually addictions that can be classed as big steps to give up. Like, I didn't realize this, but you can actually have addiction to porn. I didn't realize that. Fucking hell, I did not realize you actually have an addiction to that shit. But you can. So a big step, of course, with all other bloody shit is that you give it up. That's a big step. You give it up. Now, the whole thing is that, okay, but what if I fall back and get back into it again? Yeah, that's fine. You are human, aren't you? Jeez, mate, I could probably say multiple times that I've done the same bloody thing. It's just the whole thing is, mate, is that everyone has to realise is that taking steps is just a part of human life. You have to take the step. You got to take in what you have to take in. You got to do what you got to do to improve your life on here, on Earth. Like I said, I'm not 100% of an expert on anything. Not really. I'm just telling you what I observe and what I have got in experience-wise. Now, the whole thing is there too, is that the way that people just say things and not exactly agreeing with each other and say, well, I want to take this step into my future. I want to take this step into here. But then they say to you, what do you want to do that for? And you just think, well, because I want it. I want to do this. I want to get better with what I want to do. And it just doesn't make sense to me how people can just turn around and just say that. Don't know. No idea. But taking big steps, guys, is a big, big thing. Like I said before, it doesn't have to be a big step to change. It can be just a little baby step. Taking little baby steps into improving your life can be a big thing. And I am the most post-child for that type of shit. I'm telling you. I'll tell you this, right? This is a bit of a background on what I mean by big steps. Now, I used to drink Red Bull. I used to drink energy drinks. Now, I'm not talking about 1 or 2. I'm talking about 3 or 4, 5, or even 6 a day. Now, that is not fucking healthy. Not healthy whatsoever. Is drinking 6 cans of Red Bull a day. Now, I'm not talking about the little itty-bitty ones. I'm talking about the big cans. One that says that you're only supposed to have 1 can a day. I had 6. Now, the whole thing is I'm paying for that now. I've got bad teeth. I've got, reasonable teeth, as you can see on TikTok. But, yeah. No good. I'm having bad indigestion all the time now because I dare say my guts is probably even rotted out, I suppose. And that shit, like they say, oh, drink Red Bull, it gives you wings. Yeah, it's a nice drink. They be fucking fooled in that shit, mate. Now, a slab of Red Bull in the big cans, about 15 cans, I think. I think the big 475s, I think they were. I think they were about 15 in a slab. I used to clear a slab within about a couple of days, not even that. What I used to grab about 2 or 3 cans, put it in a big glass, put a bit of water and a bit of ice in it, and just drink it like that. I used to drink it like cordial. I used to drink it like water, literally. And there was this one time I was drinking a can of Red Bull, like I always did. Just grabbed a can and just drank it up. And then afterwards, I felt a bit different to what I usually do. Very different, actually. Sorry for the birds in the background. I've got my door open. And if you hear any power tools, it's actually because of the backyard where there's getting some work done there. And the whole thing is that I was drinking so much Red Bull that, one, I was getting very bad headaches, like nearly migraines. 2, my heart was literally beating outside my bloody chest and going right up to my fucking head. And 3, I was just shaking, like non-stop shaking. Now, the whole thing is that Red Bull is supposed to give you energy. Well, I drank that much of it, it didn't really make any difference to me whatsoever. To the point where all the energy drink type of shit that came with it just didn't work with me anymore. Did not work at all with me whatsoever. So, at one stage, I said to myself, I can't drink this shit anymore because I was having stomach pains, very bad, like really ice picks, piercing bloody headaches, getting the shakes, getting very bad, what would you call, just bad. All of it was all bad, put it that way. And so I decided, nah, that's it, mate. No more. I'm not doing this shit anymore. So I just decided to go cold turkey. So like I said, going cold turkey was probably one of the biggest steps I've actually ever done when it comes to that type of shit. Because going cold turkey from drinking so much energy drinks to nothing was pretty bloody bad. It was shocking. Fuck, it was bad. Like I reckon I probably drank enough caffeine to probably say I drank about 2 slabs of Coca-Cola in one day. The amount of caffeine I was probably drinking. Because what's the average can of Coke? What, 40 grams of caffeine? 50 grams of caffeine? Well, I'm pretty sure it's over 180 grams of caffeine in a can of Red Bull, like the big cans of Red Bull. I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know. But anyway, the whole thing is going cold turkey when it comes to that was fucking believable. And the whole thing is that my screen just came on, my big one. The whole thing was, right, is it didn't make sense to me to just quit. Just pick up and quit. It's the same with smoking. Now, here's the funny thing. I was a smoker. I was smoking like a fucking chimney at one stage. But here's the thing. It took me so long. It took me about a good week, 2 weeks to get off Red Bull. And I mean, the shakes, the headaches, the mood swings, the fucking everything, right? But then, smoking, I could quit like that. I didn't understand it. Why I could just give up smoking, so nicotine, and have so much trouble with giving up the Red Bull. We've had so many side effects with giving up Red Bull, but I had fuck all. The only thing I had, honestly, the only thing I had when it come to the smoking was actually just wanting to not smoke. That was it. I didn't have any headaches, migraine. I didn't have any headaches, shaking, anything like that. It was just a need to have a smoke. That's it. Like I still have it occasionally because fucking hell, I really need to smoke sometimes. Fucking hell, especially the stresses of today. But I don't smoke nowhere near like one or two, probably once in a blue moon. But it just, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And the whole thing is that, even with drinking, I never really was a drinker, because I had an alcoholic father, more or less, and that really put me off drinking. I love drinking beer. I love drinking scotch and whiskey and some bourbons and that type of stuff. I like drinking. I like drinking, but I don't drink. If that makes any bloody sense, probably not. But anyway, but it's funny. It's actually really, really bloody funny, how it actually does work like that. And the other issue is that, it's funny. I just realised how funny that actually is in some ways, because how can you possibly have something on that level? I suppose you probably could say, but hang on, guys, I'm just fixing up something here. there you go. That's better. For some reason, my screen was not working. Now it's working, so it's interesting. So yeah, that was, in some ways, that was a big step for me as well. Is actually giving up that type of stuff. Now, when it comes to actually giving up other stuff, or even just working towards other things, big steps are very important for that type of shit too. Now, when it comes to, like I said there before, when it came to my mental health, that was a pretty big step for me to actually say, no more. I want to get this shit fixed. I want to get shit sorted and be a better version of me. It was the same thing about joining the gym. I thought, fuck, join the gym? Me? Fucking hell. Yeah, don't know about that. that was literally the attitude that I thought. And the thing is that it was also because of a mental thing in my head saying, oh, if you join a gym, everyone's just going to stare at you and just, make fun of you because you're going to do the wrong thing, or you're going to say the wrong thing, or you're going to do the wrong thing. Oh, Jesus Christ, fucking hell, watch out. But then I realised something. I thought, no, fuck this, and fuck them. Let them fucking look. Let the people look at me. I'm not there for them. I'm not joining the gym for them. I'm joining the gym for me. And if anyone's watching, even on my live or even listening to this, and thinking, nah, I'm not going to join no gym. Gym's not for me. Trust me when I say, mate, and definitely take this as my advice. Take it from me. Joining the gym was literally one of the biggest fucking steps that I've ever done. Have I been yet? No. I'm actually waiting on clothes. Because I'm a bigger fella. I've got to get mine shipped to me. I actually bought mine online, and it's actually taken a bit longer than I thought. Am I keen to get into the gym? Fuck yeah. I want to start working with the weights. I want to start working with the fucking roll machine. I want to start working with the treadmills and the cycling and all that type of shit. I want to start working with all that. I reckon it's going to be fucking great fun. I've already got bloody 3 playlists already fucking made up. So when I do go to the gym, put me beats on and fucking just jam out to something. The other big thing was figuring out about my diet, losing weight. Now, like I said, getting diabetes was probably one of the biggest things. But at the same time, it was a big thing because it was a bit scary at first. Like, oh, fuck, you got diabetes. Oh, fuck. But you know what? It was the best thing. Because it made me say, fuck, I think I might have to look after myself here now. And the whole thing is that I've got me mum. Everyone knows me mum, especially on here. Whoever listens to my podcast, you know my mum. She's got type 2 diabetes too. And having her with me as well, helping me out with all this shit, is fantastic. She's actually had diabetes for, how am I now? 32. She's had diabetes for nearly 25 years. Yeah, about 25. 20 years, if not a little longer. About 22 years. I would have to say nearly 22 years. Don't know. I'm actually hoping to get a podcast done with her actually this week. I'm hoping. And I've actually, I should be able to. I'm not sure yet, but I should be able to. Now, also too, talking about big steps, it is a big, big thing just to admit to certain things. It really is, mate. It is big to admit to certain things that some things can change in your life that can stop you from taking those steps. Only take the big steps when you can. Not when you're forced to. Take the steps when you have to. Take the steps when you have to and when you want to. It took me years to do what I want to do. Absolutely years. I'm 32 now, guys. 32. I wasted my 20s. In some ways, I wasted my 20s. I didn't waste them because I gave my family a big hand in doing what they wanted me to do, like looking after the kids, looking after my grandmother, looking after everyone else, just providing for everyone else, like feeding them, cooking meals and shit like that. I was more than happy to do shit like that. More than happy to, but at the same time, smiling on the outside, but then miserable on the inside, mate. I felt like a slave. That's the whole thing. I felt like a slave. I had fun doing some of the stuff I'd done. I had a ball with some of the stuff I'd done. Fucking oath I did. But I always thought that I was a slave for some fucking reason. It's funny that, isn't it? That you actually think like you're a slave. I don't know. I don't understand how that can be. But it just was. It literally just was like that. And yeah, it was bad, mate. It was bad, but at the same time, I just thought that taking steps and taking little bitty ones now, like I said, probably from when I was about 17 to about, about 29, around there. That's when I was just doing everything for everyone else. As soon as I hit 30, it was a bad time. Real bad time for me as well when I hit 30. The whole thing is that it didn't seem real. It didn't seem like I actually had a accomplished life. It didn't make sense to me, and it just didn't. I didn't feel like I actually had a good life when I turned 30. 31 came along and it was the same type of deal. No, I'm 31. Who cares? Then 32 came along. This year 2020 bloody 2. We've had about nearly 2-3 years of just COVID-19 fuck up. And that really put me down. Don't know why, it just did. Now, the whole thing was taking control of my life when I was 32. That was the biggest fucking thing that I ever have done. Now, there's a lot of people, even on here now, TikTok. I've made a video about it. And you blokes and Sheilas, you blokes are the ones who have fucking saved me. And the whole thing is taking those steps and taking that advice that I've been given from people fucking saved me. Now, I've got some bloody good close mates on here. And there's one that just came in right now. Humphrey. How are you, buddy? How are you, Cobber? Now, the whole thing is, when it does come to taking steps, you make the biggest fucking step that you could possibly make. Because no matter what fucking shit can throw at you, you fucking keep going. That's one thing I've learnt, and that's one thing I'm going to fucking do now. You take fucking steps, and you take it, and you fucking go for it. No matter who you fucking believe, you take it, you grab it, and you fucking go for it. That is what I'm doing now. And I am not fucking looking back. Because the whole thing is, mate, is I've spent too long fucking looking at everyone else going in front of me while I'm on the sidelines and looking at people going fucking past me. The whole thing is that you got to try. That is what I done. You got to fucking try. Now, like I said, I never used to know how to use a chainsaw. It was thanks to John. You guys have heard him on here before. It was thanks to him that he gave me the confidence to actually get a chainsaw. Yes, it was a battery one. Yes. Little baby steps. Wasn't it? Baby steps. Then I went and got myself a Stihl MSA 220. About a 40 kilowatt or 30 kilowatt chainsaw. Equivalent of a MS 170, I've been told. Then I was using that for a couple of years. Then I turned around and bought myself an MS 391 Farm Boss, which was over 65 or 63 kilowatts. A petrol chainsaw. A big fucker. A professional chainsaw. Why not? Now I'm doing firewood. Absolutely loving it. I'm doing wood carvings. Now I'm actually showing on TikTok right now. I'm actually showing one of my carvings right here. It's a knife. This is one of my carvings that I've done. It's not the best one, but it's one of my carvings that I've done. With the 4 rune, I don't know if you can see that, guys, but that's the 4 rune gods. That's their runes. Now, the whole thing is that you got to take it. Because one thing I've definitely learnt, mate, is that it will not fucking come to you. You got to go to it. That's one thing I've learnt. And the thing is, guys, I wish I learnt that fucking sooner. I wish I had someone there telling me what I'm telling you now. You got to grab it by the fucking throat and you got to run up. You got to grab that footy and you got to run it up and kick that fucking goal. Because the whole thing is, guys, it will not wait for you. I'm telling you that right now. It will not wait for you. The whole thing is, guys, is that you, like I said, you just got to get it and you got to ram it up. Fucking just do it. It will be hard. It will be tough. It will be bloody upsetting. You will feel like shit. But I can guarantee you right now, like I am right now, you'll be feeling powerful. You'll be feeling strong. You'll be feeling like you know you're something. If you don't feel like that, it's okay. Give yourself some time. Because you will feel like that. You will feel like you, like especially if you go and take the big step and actually talking about your problems to someone. Like I am. I'm talking to a psychiatrist. And I've been told from a couple of people, you are going to feel like shit afterwards sometimes because you got to tell things that you never thought that you would ever talk about again. You literally have to grab all that shit from down your fucking butt of your bloody gut, the bottom of your gut, and bring it all up. It's going to be fucking tough. It's going to be real tough, and it's going to be fucking hard. Now, I've only had one session with this psych, and now I already felt better. Now, will your thing be the same? Don't know. Wouldn't have a clue. But isn't it better off for you to try? Isn't that better off for you to just see what happens? Oh, yeah, but Matt, I can't just see what happens. Yes, you can, mate. Yes, you can. You can try. You can try. The whole thing is that in my faith, in Norse paganism, courage is one of the biggest things. Bravery, honor are one of the biggest things in Norse. And the whole thing is that they reward you for taking the courage and having the bravery to do it. And to accept it. Yes, this is me. This is what happened. Now, what the fuck am I going to do about it? Am I going to do what I've done for nearly 10 plus years and just sit in the fucking corner and don't do nothing? Just let me life go by? Let everyone else get what they want to get and do what they want to do while I sit in the fucking corner? Or am I going to get up like a Viking and fucking like a warrior and get up and do something? And that's what I'm doing now, guys. That's what I'm doing now. The whole thing is, guys, is that taking the baby step is a good thing too. It's not all about big steps. Baby steps are just as powerful as what the big steps are, because you're improving what you want to do. That's a big, big thing too. I hope that everyone who's listening to this right now and watching me right now on TikTok understands that. I really hope they do. And take my word for it. Like I said, it fucking will be hard. I did not get to what I am and what I'm doing now just by just talking like this. Like I've always said to you guys, whoever have listened to me in the past, everyone on TikTok here, if you don't know, I'm not one to talk shit. I talk from experience. I talk from just what I know, and I talk from what I think, what I've learnt, what I've seen, what I have observed, what I've studied, and just what I've learnt over my years. And I've seen a lot of shit, guys. I've seen a lot of triumphs. I've seen a lot of bloody collapses too. I've seen a lot of it. Yeah, it takes time. Because look at me. It took me a long time to get to where I am now. It even took me a huge step of even making this podcast. Not just this episode. I'm talking about the whole thing. It was a very, very awkward thing. It was really when I first started. I thought, what the fuck are we? What am I even going to talk about on here? What the fuck? What am I even going to call this show? What am I even going to call this podcast? Oh, the Matt Edwards Show. Woohoo! Nah. Then I heard that a lot of people were making podcasts about different topics, and I thought, what topic do I talk about? For what is the only topic I can talk about that I can continue talking about again and again and again and again and again? It doesn't work like that with me. I like talking about all sorts of shit. All sorts of shit. Nah, I can't make that an episode. Then I heard someone say, why don't you make it Aussie? I thought, yeah, that's true too. But what is classed as Aussie? What does a group of people do when they're talking? Oh, they have a yak. Hey? Yeah, they sit down and have a yak. Oh, fuck. Having a yak. You can't get any Aussie more than that. And that's when I said, that's what intro is going to be. Having a yak. What's it going to be about? Anything. It's basically something that you just talk about when you're in a bar or a pub here in Australia. Sitting down in your dining room table, talking to your friends or family. Anything. Anything that could ever be imaginable that you can talk about, because you're having a yak. Why not? Why not? So, I took the big step. Yet again, big step. And made the podcast. I could not freaking believe how big this podcast actually got. And how many countries it actually went to. It went to Spain, Ireland, America, Germany, France, Africa, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Italy. It went fucking everywhere. And I thought to myself, what the fuck? Then I got the invitation to go onto Amazon. I got the invitation to go to Spotify. Oh, couldn't believe it that day. Taking that big step gave me the biggest accomplishment. You know what I mean. It gave me the biggest feeling that I actually accomplished. There you go. I actually accomplished something. By having the invitation to go on to, what's that bloody thing? Audible, I think it was. To go on there. And I also got an invitation to go on to Amazon. So everyone who's listening on Audible or Amazon right now, that is thanks to to the big step I took. And it was one hell of a step, mate, I'm telling you. It was one hell of a step. And it literally made me go from just talking about shit, going on YouTube, doing some YouTube videos. That was a big step too, doing YouTube. Fucking oath it was. But I think podcasting is more my style. Because for one, you're actually watching me do this episode right now on TikTok. And the people who will listen to this right now. The thing is that going on TikTok was even a big thing. And I've met so many great people on here, especially on TikTok. I've met so many people on here. And seen so many great videos on here. I've made so many great friends on here, and I've lost some, I've gained some, I've lost contact with some. I've learnt so much on here. It's unreal. And when I converted to Norse, because in some ways I was a bit of like an atheist when I first started, when I was first really getting into shit, I was more like an atheist because Christianity, I didn't fit in. Catholic, definitely not. Buddhist, nah. Being I don't know the exact religion. I think it's Hinduism, or Judaism or something for the Jews. I never got into any of that stuff. The Muslim stuff, I never got into that either. But the whole story is that when I got into the forest or the bush that we call here in Australia, we call it the bush. You can't call it a forest, but I've always known it as to be the bush. This is how I got into Norse paganism. Now, I've noticed that one of my good mates and brother who's actually in here, Tank. So, Tank, you actually get to hear this story. I'm actually going to give you the long version, so sit back and relax. And for you guys, just sit back and relax too. This is what I mean by taking the big step, guys. So this is a big step for me. All right. So I was going out to the bush and I was getting some wood because I needed wood to split up for the fire pit and also to have wood for firewood. Anyway, so I came in, got in my car, went out to the bush, hooked up the trailer and all that type of shit, went out to the bush. And I was cutting up some wood. And it was picture this in your mind. It was a beautiful, clear day. The sun was shining, birds were fucking singing and carrying on. It was a beautiful, cloudless day. It was a beautiful breeze, warm. It was beautiful. One of the best days I had cutting wood. It was not hot. It was just perfect. It was a beautiful day. So just keep that in mind for later on. Anyway, so I was cutting up this log. And I was feeling very low. Like, okay, guys, you got to remember that too. I was feeling very low, very just, what the fuck. So anyway, I was cutting up this log. And you know how you get the sense that you got someone looking at you. Now, there was no one around. This was the bush. There was no one around. But I had this sense that something or someone was looking at me. Now, if you don't know what Odin looks like, he's typically a man that has got a hood on, but he's cloaked. He's got a very long beard with braids and all that type of stuff in it. He's got some beads and all that type of stuff into his beard. And he's also got either one eye that's been pulled out. That's a completely different story. If you want to know, look up Odin, the Allfather, Norse mythology, and look up why he got rid of his eye, and you'll know the story. But anyway, that's the whole thing. You would either have an eye patch or something over his eye, or he won't have nothing on his eye, but you would have an eye missing. That is what I seen. I seen this old man looking at me, but it wasn't like a full human. It was like a figure of a human. It was very strange. And then the wind picked up. And it said, "Follow my path. Follow my path. Follow my path." And I knew who it was. For some reason, I knew exactly who it was. I knew about Odin. I love history, so I looked up the Vikings. I looked up the Norse mythology. I looked up all that stuff. So I love all that stuff. So I knew, okay, this bloke, I think he's Odin. And the whole thing was, as soon as I heard that, I heard drums. I heard throat music. I seen rivers and mountains and snow, and I thought, what the fuck? And I remembered, oh shit, this is Denmark. This is Norway. This is Scandinavia. This is the home of the Vikings. And then I seen this big gate, this big door, this big golden door with shields all around it. That is the gate to Valhalla. That is Odin's halls. Valhalla. That's Odin's hall. And I'm thinking, oh no, I'm fucking dying here. And then all of a sudden, I heard it again. Follow my path. And then all of a sudden, I seen the figure, and it just vanished. And all of a sudden, I heard this boom, like it was thunder, like a real fucking loud thunder. And as soon as I said, yes, Odin, your father, I will follow your path, because I felt at peace. I really felt at peace. And the whole thing is that I've never looked back. As you can see on TikTok, I'm wearing the Mjolnir, which is Thor's hammer. I've made statues, wood carving statues of Odin, Thor, and Freya. I'm also going to be making one for Trey and Frigg. So taking big steps, guys, is a big thing, because I've never looked back. Because once I accepted Odin in my life and the Norse gods and the goddesses, I never looked back, and I was always in peace. Always at peace. And now, what I'm doing now is even better. And that's the whole thing, guys. That is literally the whole thing. Sometimes you got to take those steps, guys. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes it will be hard. Like I said, I'm just going to say this to you once more. It will be hard. There'll be a lot of challenges coming up. And you will get through them. Why wouldn't you? But you will get through them. I can guarantee it now. The whole thing is, guys, is that taking those steps is a big thing. You just got to try and remember that, guys. And like I've said to you too, in one of my videos, if you've seen it now, just remember my TikTok name is the Aussie Bushman. So I'm going to say this to you again, like I said to you on my video. To me, problems in your life is like walking down a dark road or dirt road. Dark road, Jesus. Fucked up my own quote. But it's like walking down a dirt road. Okay? If you look down, right, you see the dirt. Fucking hell. Now the whole thing is, right, if you look straight, you'll see a house. That's where you're going. That's your objective. Isn't it? That's what you want to do. That's what the job you want to get done. You are on the road to that house. And you're wondering if you want to take that step. And this is where my quote from that video comes in. Life is like walking down a long dirt road. Okay? If you look straight, you see the house. But if you look down, your travels will be a lot longer to when, if you look up and you see the house, it won't seem too long and your travels will not be as long or won't be as far. So just remember that, guys. Just remember that. Thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for everyone who came on TikTok Live. I appreciate that too. But at the same time, you can always catch me for another one. I'm always doing lives. I'm always doing podcast episodes. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate it. And like I said, take that step, guys. Take that fucking step and get going. Catch you later.